team has been the lack of an elite pass rusher after previous defensive changes. Without a dominant defensive end who can pressure the quarterback consistently, the defense has struggled to perform at higher level. This weakness has pushed the organization to explore different trade possibilities in order to fix the problem before the next season begins. Because of these defensive needs, rumors continue to connect the Cowboys with the Las Vegas Raiders star pass rusher Max Crosby. He is known across the NFL league for his relentless energy, strong leadership, and ability to disrupt the offensive player. Many analysts believe he is exactly the type of the defensive player that could instantly improve the Cowboys' defense and bring back more aggressive playing style. However, the biggest shock comes from the proposed trade package. According to the suggestion, the Cowboys would spend and send the first-round pick along with George Pickens to the Raiders. In return, Dallas would receive Max Crosby and a second-round draft pick. On paper, this looks like a deal that could help the defense immediately, but emotionally, it is a move that could upset the large portion of the fan base. George Pickens had a breakout impact in the Cowboys' offense, especially during the previous season. He quickly became one of the most explosive and reliable targets in the passing game. His ability to stretch the field, make difficult catches, and create big plays gave the offense a new level of excitement and unpredictability. Losing a player like that would not be an easy decision for any team, especially one of that is already trying to maintain offensive balance. Another important factor in this discussion is the financial situation of the team. The Cowboys are already paying top wide receiver CeeDee Lamb a very large salary. Because of this, some analysts believe the team may hesitate to offer another long-term high-value contract to George Pickens. Managing salary cap space is one of the most difficult challenges in the NFL, and teams must always plan for the future, not only the present. From the strategic point of view, supporters of the trade argue that elite pass rushers are extremely valuable in NFL. Strong defensive line can change the outcome of games, pressure opposing quarterbacks, and support the entire defensive units. If Max Crosby joins the Cowboys, he could immediately fill the role of defensive leader and become the face of the defense. On the other hand, critics strongly oppose the idea. They believe that trading a young and rising offensive star like George Pickens could weaken the offense significantly. Modern football relies heavily on explosive wide receivers, and removing one of the top playmakers could reduce scoring efficiency and offensive creativity. Fans who watched Pickens growing with the system feel emotionally connected to his development and the potential for the future success. Another layer of the debate focuses on the team chemistry. When a player becomes a key contributor in a short period of time, he also builds strong connection with the teammates and coaches, of course. George Pickens has already shown strong chemistry with the quarterback and the other offensive players. Of course, removing him from the roster could disrupt the rhythm of the offense and require time for the adjustments. There is also a perspective of the Raiders in this situation. For the Las Vegas, acquiring a talented young wide receiver could be the long-term investment. Pickens could become a central offensive weapon for the future plans. However, they would also need to commit to the long-term contract, which adds financial pressure and risk. Every trade in a professional sports is not only about talent, but also about long-term planning and financial responsibility. Another important discussion revolves around the fan reaction. Is Cowboys fans are known to be extremely passionate and loyal. Many supporters want the team to breed around young offensive talent rather than trade it away. If the organization decided to move Pickens, the reaction on social media and Sport Talk's platform could be intense, of course, and emotional for many fans of the Dallas Cowboys. At the same time, some analysts believe the trade could be calculated compromise. If the Cowboys are unsure about giving Pickens a long-term contract and he is unwilling to pay under short-term deals, the team might prefer to gain proven defensive superstar instead of risking future contract disrupts. This type of decision often happens in the professional sports when financial strategies and player expectations do not fully align. Looking deeper into the performance impact, Max Crosby brings consistency, durability, and allied defensive pressure. His presence alone can force opposing offenses to change their game plans. Offensive line must focus more attention on blocking him, while it creates opportunity for other defensive players to succeed. This leap effect can transform an entire offensive and defensive over the course of the season. Meanwhile, George Pickens represents youth, speed, and offensive explosiveness. He has the potential to become one of the top wide receivers in the league if his development continues at the same pace. Trading such player always carries the risk of regrets if it reaches to the super status with another team. In the end, this proposed trade highlights the difficult choice that team like Dallas Cowboys must make every offseason. Should they prioritize defensive dominance or offensive firepower? Should they invest in the proven veterans or continue to breed around young stars? This question do not have a simple answer. Yes, of course. And every decision can shape the future of the franchise for many years. As the trade rumors continue to circulate, one thing is clear. Any deal involving George Pickens and Max Crosby would not be quiet move. It would be a blockbuster decision that sparks debate across the entire football world. Whether the Cowboys choose to pursue this trade or not, the discussion itself shows how seriously the team is about fixing its biggest weakness and returning to the championship level performance. For now, fans, analysts, and the insiders will continue to watch closely. The front office must carefully evaluate talent, contact, team needs, long-term vision. A single trade can redefine the season, but it can also redefine the identity of a franchise. That is why this proposed trade remains one of the most talked about topics around. It usually comes with high salary. Many teams use it when they are not ready to lose an important player. The first day that teams could use the franchise tag has already passed. However, nothing dramatic happened for the Dallas Cowboys. The team did not place the franchise tag on wide receiver George Pickens. Many fans were watching closely because Pickens is one of the most important offensive players on the roster. When the Cowboys did not use the tag immediately, it gave hope for many supporters. It suggests that the team may be working toward for long-term contract instead. A long-term contract would be better for both sides, and it would give George Pickens security for several years. and it would also help the Cowboys to avoid the stressful offseason filled with rumors, arguments, and uncertainty. In the recent years, Dallas fans have experienced dramatic contract situation with strike players. Supporters would prefer to calm and professional negotiation this time. However, it is important to remember that there is still time. The franchise tag window remains open for several days. The Cowboys could still decide to use it if negotiations do not move forward. Nothing is final yet. For now, fans can only wait and watch. Another important story for the Dallas is the introduction of the new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. He will officially meet with the Dallas media on Tuesday. This meeting is important because it will give clues about how the Cowboys plan to build their defense for the upcoming season. A defensive coordinator plays a major role in shaping a team identity. He decides how aggressive the defense will be. He chooses the scheme, the formation, and the strategies because Christian Parker is new to the organization. Many people are curious about his plans. Reporters will likely to ask him about free agents and upcoming NFL League draft in 2026. His answers may reveal what types of the players the Cowboys are targeting. Some analysts have already started connecting available defensive players to the Parker coaching style. Interestingly, one of the names being discussed players for division rival. That makes a situation even more interesting. If Dallas wants to compete for the championship, the defense must improve and remain consistent. Christian Parker leadership will be extremely important in achieving that goal. While much of the attention is focused on George Pickens, another important Cowboys player is quietly approaching free agents. His kicker Brandon Aubrey is set to become a restricted free agent. A restricted free agent is different from the normal free agent. His current team can place a tender offer on him. This offer allows the team to match any contract another team offers. However, there is some risk involved. Cowboys are expected to place a second-round tender on Brandon Aubrey. This means that if another team signs him, they would need to give Dallas second-round draft picks as compensation. But there is concern. Brandon Aubrey has developed into one of the most dynamic kickers in the league. Some teams may believe he is worth the price. If another team makes strong contract offer, of course Dallas will have to decide whether to match it or let him leave. Losing a reliable kicker can change the outcome of the close games. Special teams are often overlooked, but they are very important. The news is not only about Dallas. Across the NFL, many important stories are developing. We cannot talk more about this one, but one major topic is the franchise tag tracker, where George Pickens is listed as one of the top candidates around the league. Many analysts believe he deserves a long-term contract, but franchise tag remains the option. Another report suggests that certain free agents is likely to flow Christian Parker to Dallas. Coaching often bring in players who understand their system. This makes transitional smoother. There is also discussion about different draft scenarios, and the Cowboys currently have 2 first-round draft picks. This gives them flexibility. They could also use both picks to select the young talents, or they could trade one pick to move higher on the draft. They could also trade down and gain additional selection. The possibilities are exciting for the fans. The future of George Pickens may directly influence how Dallas approach free agents at the wide receiver position. If Pickens signs a long-term deal, the team may not need to spend heavily on another receiver, but if he leaves, the Cowboys would need to act quickly. Another interesting financial